Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. When the soul started sharing with you all on the saints from eastern part of Bharatvarsh, little did it realize there are treasures within this region. Blessed is this soul to share with you all in this episode of Saints of India the life of Swami Pranavananda Ji Maharaj, who founded the Bharat Sevashram Sangha. The content of this episode have been collated from the following portals and blogs: hinduamerican.org, bharatsevashramsangha.org, bssblr.org. Any addition or deletion may graciously be pardoned. Bhagavan Sri Krishna says in the Gita that not all souls desire to become a saint. Out of the hundreds of thousands of people, one strives to become a saint. Not all those who strive achieve their goal. After intense sadhanas and submission to the Almighty, one of them understands the secrets of God. The saint about whose life this soul would like to share this week, Swami Pranavananda Ji Maharaj, is one of them. He was a fully illumined master. To be born as a human being, one should be gifted, and more so when you learn about Mahatmas. It was in the year 1896 this Mahapurush appeared as a child to Bishnu Charan and his wife Sarda Devi. The birth of this Mahapurush was not an ordinary one, Lee said. Bishnu Charan and his wife Sarda Devi, staunch devotees of Mahadev, were residents of Bajitpur in erstwhile East Bengal, now called Bangladesh. Bishnu Charan was facing tough times and was at a stage of losing his entire wealth. His future seemed bleak. Everything was in jeopardy. It is but human for people to forget and stray away from God, whom they had been counting on for redemption, at trying times saying that the God whom they were praying all their life has let them down. But Bishnu Charan was a different person. He grasped the Almighty and sought His intervention to drive away the bad times he was going through. He vowed that he will meditate night after night for a year, till such time his Mahadev intervened and pulled him out of the rut he was in. Without any delay, Bishnu Charan started the meditation every night with all devotion and commitment. It was close to a year when Lord Shiva appeared in his meditation. He was blessed by Mahadev and was told that he will be blessed with a son who will be the reason to pull him out of the problems that he was facing, and all the bad times will be a dream of the past. Coincidentally, Sarada Devi had a dream that night when she saw a divine light coming from the nearby Shiv temple and entering into a womb. As days, weeks and months progressed, a wonderful child was born to the couple. They named him as Jayan, and later in his boyhood he was called as Binod. Among other meanings for the name, spiritual happiness is one of them, befitting his later years as he grew. The child was loved by everyone. Usually, children play and are attracted towards toys. But this child, Binod, used to crawl and go sit near the altar of Mahadev. This amazed people. The child will sit in front of Mahadev and would meditate. Seeing the child at this very early stage of life being devoted, more and more people loved him. He showed uncommon philosophical inclinations. Having born to pious parents, this child also grew pious. Serenity and calmness prevailed in his face. As he grew, he was liked by the children of the locality because of his helping nature. Studies weren't his cup of tea. He would often be seen in deep contemplation at school. The teachers loved this student of theirs for being so quiet, well conducted, and very well disciplined. Alas, they didn't know the fact about him at that point of time. Strange things happened from a novice point of view. Binod used to get into a state of samadhi when at school and would lose all contact with the outside world that surrounded him. When he regained consciousness, he would see that the school been over long time back and all his classmates had left the school. He would drag his feet and return back home. Food and play were secondary or last in his list of wants. As he grew older, his detachment to materialistic world became stronger and his attachment to spiritual world grew faster. His penance, one should say, grew stronger. Sometimes he would not sleep in the night but keep meditating till someone knocked the door the next day morning, disturbing his meditation. His intake of food also gradually decreased and he would spend a day with handful of rice and few boiled potatoes. He would continue like this for days together with just an hour's sleep. It has been recorded that Binod used the thatched building his father had constructed for him to study. But whenever he opened his books, his spiritual mind took over him and he forcibly entered into a state of samadhi with his body in yogic posture. He would spend the entire night in samadhi. Out of curiosity, once his sister peeped into the room through a gap in the door. To her surprise, she saw her brother just not meditating, which she was aware of, but she saw her brother levitating above his bed when in meditation. As days passed, he shifted his meditation to cremation ground. There he would hold a skull from a burnt body in his hand and would say, "This is the truth. However healthy or sick you were, rich or poor, weak or powerful, one day you have to perish and this would be your condition. Do not deviate your mind from the Almighty, but seek salvation in the most modest way." He was searching for salvation which was eluding him. Binod decided to do penance till his goals were met. With his yogic powers, he was able to control every nerve and muscle of his body. He decided to meditate 24 hours a day without a wink of sleep. For a normal human being, this isn't possible at all. Even to stay awake for 24 hours is a big challenge. But Binod kept himself awake for 24 hours a day and continued with it for almost 3 years. When he was blessed to meet his guru in the form of Yogiraj Baba Gambhir Nath Ji. The guru was happy to receive his disciple. With the guidance of his guru, Swami Pranavananda Ji, the monastic name assumed by Binod, was able to perform his sadhanas with greater intensity. It is unbelievable but true that Swami Pranavananda Ji had not slept for 6 long years. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa went without sleep for many years. The current modern day scientists would doubt this feat of his and would discount it as trash. But what would they know about the powers of a highly motivated, advanced and self-realized yogi's power to defy physical law? With the blessings of Guru Gambhir Nath Ji and his guidance, Swami Pranavananda Ji was able to master all the yogic siddhis within a short span of time. Swami Pranavananda Ji was an inspiration to the revolutionaries during the Indian independence movement. He guided them to submit themselves selflessly to the cause of the society, especially at times of natural calamities. He worked hard and also guided the tribals to earn their livelihood without being dependent on others. It would be surprising to note that at that young age, Swami Pranavananda Ji initiated village level industries like handloom and paddy dehusking machines. He supported the tribals to stand on their own. He had observed as a child how the underprivileged didn't get any help from any quarters, be it the society at large or the government agencies, especially during natural calamities, be it floods, drought, or epidemic. He wanted to set things right and was furious about the attitude of the bureaucrats and the society as a whole, which never helped the needy. He identified that the divisions that were magnified by the British and its aim of divide and rule made things worse. Unity amongst Indians themselves were absent, and they were down in all fronts, spiritually, morally, physically, and mentally. The prevalent threat from fellow countrymen and the divisive Britishers always held them on tenterhooks. Swami Pranavananda Ji himself was a victim many a times when he raised the issue of the underprivileged. He also observed that there were none to care for the poor and the neglected people who lived their lives at the mercy of God. Having seen the plight of people, especially during natural calamities, and the number of people dying for want of medical aid, he formed a front which took shape later in 1917 as the Bharat Sevashram Sangha, which focused on serving the people. This was a broad spectrum of services in educational and medical welfare, social welfare, rural upliftment, removal of untouchability, and other major programs. He was a Hindu yogi, a saint, and a pioneer in the upliftment of the downtrodden. He bound together the modern Hindu society, which was getting digressed into various castes, subcastes, and also converting to other religions, along with traditional Hindu beliefs. Mention should be made here that he did this without compromising on the true beliefs of Hindu practices. Time was cruel, which snatched away Swami Pranavananda Ji at an early age of 44. This soul is sure, as you would, feel proud of having born in Bharatvarsh, where Mahapurushas like Swami Pranavananda Ji appeared. Hope you liked this episode of Saints of India. If you'd like to support this project, you may contribute at patreon.com. All amounts received will benefit thousands of students who are at various Veda Pathashalas or tolls across the country. This in turn will strengthen the roots of Sanatana Dharma. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.